In a shocking turn of events of our last video of 2023, I'm very happy to tell you guys that we have a new family member. No, I'm not pregnant and I don't plan to be anytime soon, but by a series of fortunate events, we have been blessed by the cat distribution system. Never heard of that before? Here's an explanation. People don't choose their cats, cats choose their people. When a stray cat or kitten walks up to a complete stranger and meows and demands attention from you, that is your sign that you have been blessed by the cat distribution system and you are the new proud owner of a cat. So please welcome Lily Rye to our home, and I'm so excited to share her story and how her first week with us went in this video. We have a brand new family member. This is Lily Bear. Can you say hi? As most of you guys know, we have a little dog named Lucky, so there are 3 of us. And now we have Lily, so it makes 4 of us total. But I thought I would take the time to tell you guys about Lily's story because it really is so crazy, and the whole thing is actually documented through Instagram stories thanks to Mama Rye. Mama Rye was actually the one who rescued and found Lily. She's still just a baby, so about 2 weeks ago, I think she was 10 weeks, so she's probably around 12 weeks old now. And let me pull up all the Instagram stories from my mom. My parents live in California, and the first time they ever spotted Lily was on October 27th. So they went to their neighborhood park and they actually saw like something scurrying around. They weren't sure if it was a rabbit or a cat or whatever. I think Lucky was able to locate where she was, and my parents did see that it was a cat. Then the next day, my parents took a picture of this cat hole, and apparently there was a little tunnel system. She would burrow in these holes, and that's how my parents would find her when they would go to the park. This is a park that my parents go to every single day for afternoon tea. Then over the course of the next couple of days, they again continue to see this kitty in the park. It's really clear to them that it's a kitten because she is pretty small, pretty compact, and again, my mom was like, I couldn't really see very clearly. I couldn't see what color she was or what she looked like. All I knew was that she was a kitten. They looked online and they said that in small quantities dog food was okay, so they did leave some food out for her just to see if she was hungry or if she would eat it. She wouldn't eat the food near my parents, but if my parents left, then she would eat the food in a scurry, and she seemed to be very hungry. So they started to go to the park every day and feed her and just make sure that she was okay. And much to their surprise, she was basically there every single day. They thought she was really cute because she would just play by herself in the park. There was nobody else there, so she would play with the leaves, she would play with her own tail. Then on December 5th, the kitten starts to get a little bit closer to my mom. She still doesn't come all the way up to my mom, but you can see that she starts to get a little bit closer, and it's probably because my mom was feeding her for this past week. At this point, they were pretty sure that this cat didn't belong to anybody because it was always so hungry and it didn't seem like it was going somewhere and coming back. It seemed like it was staying in that little hole. And because it is the winter time, it is starting to get very, very cold in California, so they were just very worried about her. This continues on for a couple more days. Again, the cat does not approach my mom, but finally, about a week and a half later, my mom posts this story and it says, 第一次被猫咪亲到, which basically means the first time being kissed by a cat. She wrote it in Mandarin on the Instagram story so that I could see. The cat for the first time had approached my mom, and she actually came and sniffed my mom's finger and let my mom pet her. And it was on this day that I texted my mom and was like, if you can get her to go home with you, I will raise her, basically. And my mom was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to catch her. She's a cat, like she's gonna scurry away. And I was like, that's totally fine if she doesn't wanna be taken. But if she is willing to go with you, then I think I'm willing to take care of her. But the next day, my mom brought a little pet carrier that Lucky had used. So again, she goes with food, the kitten comes out again. My mom says, without resisting at all, the kitty followed them basically back to the car, and she picked it up and put it in Lucky's carrier. But I had my parents take her to the vet to make sure that she wasn't microchipped and that she didn't belong to somebody else and that we were doing the right thing. She in fact was not microchipped, and the vet said, basically she's up for grabs if you guys are willing and want to take care of her. And I was like, obviously we will take her, we will figure out the rest. At this point, my biggest concern is that we have Lucky, and I know cats and dogs don't always get along that well. So I wanted to make sure that they were both going to be in a safe environment and that they were going to be okay with each other, basically. When they went to the vet, they were like, okay, what do you want to name the cat? Because the cat needs a chart, you have to pick a name. and I picked the name Lily. I'll tell you guys why I picked Lily a little bit later. For the first day, they are just smelling each other's scent. So they are not interacting with each other. They are not seeing each other. Nothing is happening except for the fact that their smells are in the same place. This kitty really found a safe space in my parents' guest bathroom. She found it to be really safe, probably because it was pretty far away from the dog. And so my parents basically kind of set up camp for her in that bathroom. It's funny because I feel like some of these pictures, she looks so dang big, but she was only 3 pounds when they took her to the vet. So she was tiny, but she kind of has a little bit of a chubbier face, so I feel like she looks bigger than she actually was. After a day of sniffing, then the next day they were able to smell each other kind of from further, and then slowly smell each other from closer but still separated, so there was no way for them to come in contact with each other. Meanwhile, my parents are trying to use the resources that they had. I had ordered like harnesses, collars, kitty litter, all that stuff, but she was so small that there was not a single collar or harness that would fit her. They tried to go to all the stores, but eventually we had to order something on Amazon. We read online that the most important things when training your kitten are to make sure that they are used to getting their paws touched so that you can trim their nails regularly without it being a huge thing. The other thing that we read is that we should get them used to wearing a harness as well as being in a carrier so that, again, it's not scary when they go to the vet as they get older. I'm pretty sure Lily had imprinted on my mom because no matter what my mom did, it felt like she just really trusted her and was her safe person. Very luckily, her test came back and she was actually negative for everything. She was very healthy, other than the fact that she was probably underweight for what she should have been at. Days later, they are assimilating the cat and the dog outside. There's a little playpen fence that my parents have, so she basically separated them and made sure that the kitty was on one side and Lucky was on the other side. They're starting to sniff each other a little bit more and get to know each other. Once they passed the outdoor test, my parents took them indoors, and then Lily really found a lot of fun in playing with Lucky's tail. I think my mom had explained it to him too, but it really seemed and felt like he understood that he was an older brother, and so he was very nice to Lily, like extra nice beyond his normal tolerance, and he doesn't really ever get mad at her. Cats are so freaking smart. My parents basically didn't have to litter train Lily. She kind of knew how to do it on her own, but initially my parents had just set up a little basket and put a doggy pee pad in it before they were able to get actual cat litter. And even with the pee pad, she knew that that was her designated spot. And then later on, when we switched her to litter, she was able to use that as well. It was really important for us to make sure that Lily wanted to be home with us and that she was happier that way. My parents did take her back to the park, and when they took her back to the park, there was no harness, no leash, no anything, because if she wanted to scurry off and she didn't want to be with us, we didn't want to force her to be with us. And much to our surprise, she did go off and like play with the leaves and go to her burrow and things, but when it was time to leave, she still followed my parents home. It was in that moment where we just knew that she is part of the Rye family squad. About 1 week after Lily was taken indoors, my parents brought her up to Seattle along with Lucky, of course, because her permanent home will be here with us in Seattle. I don't think I've been this excited to unbox things that I purchased for a while. Our kitty is coming today, and so I ordered a bunch of things. This is supposed to eliminate odor in the kitty litter box. I am somebody who's pretty sensitive to smells. I've also never had a kitty or dealt with litter before, so I was advised to get this. This is the litter box. Ooh, okay, so basically made to fit a corner. I wasn't 100% sure where we were gonna put the kitty litter yet, so I'm still trying to figure that out. Oh, she's gonna know to like go in here hopefully and do her business and come back out. I'm so excited to meet her. I don't think I've been this excited for a very long time. I know very little about kitties. I never thought I would own a cat. I'm gonna show you guys what I learned from TikTok on how to minimize the smell of kitty litter. I was taught that the best way to minimize odor, which if y'all have any tips, please let me know, because I'm all ears and I'm very new to this, obviously. First thing we're going to do is put a pad underneath all of this. And then the next thing we are going to do is spread a little bit of this Fresh Step odor eliminating deodorizer. Smells kind of strong. I know kitties are really sensitive to smell. I might only just do a little bit of this. I don't want her to not be potty trained because she doesn't like the smell. Next, we have to put the kitty litter in, obviously. Okay, T-minus 5 minutes before kitty, but I wanted to show you some of the toys that we got. So got a little cat wand toy. Also got this cat sushi. We have a really cute gelato peak bowl. We also have a lot of cat treats, and I also got catnip. You won't believe who's here. It's Lucky. Who's your photos? And then we also have Miss Lily, who's inside. She's way smaller than I thought she was gonna be. Okay, we're gonna prepare her first meal. She has some Friskies canned food. This is Kevin.
This is so small.
She's very scared. She's a little scaredy cat, so just don't overwhelm her. You can meow at her.
Meow.
No, you have to make it sound like a real
can do
meow.
it.
Meow. Meow. Who's a little Lily burrito? The next morning with Lily, we have a little leash on her because she will literally hide away and we will not be able to find her. So just for safety reasons, while we learn a little bit more about her, but she's a little sweetheart. Good morning. It is day 3 with Lily. She is a little burrito. She is trusting me a lot more. I know you can't tell it's a different day because I've literally been the same outfit these last 3 days at home. But she's a little sweetheart. She actually woke up really, really early this morning, around 4, and my mom played with her and fed her a little bit and then put her back to bed, I think around 6. And then she would not stop meowing. And I think it was because she was still hungry. When Lily first came to our house, she was so scared of every single sound, every single noise. She was often scurrying away into little burrows so that she could hide. It took us about a week to really build trust with her. Lots of playing, lots of cuddles. It made us so happy to watch her jump on the couch for the very first time. At first, I thought it was ridiculous that we were meowing at her. As you can see from this video, she really do be communicating with my mom through meowing. I was actually also able to capture the first time she voluntarily came and sat next to me on the couch. And if you listen closely, you can hear her little motorcycle purr, which I was later taught meant that she's very happy and content where she is. I think having her as a kitten in some tiny fraction of a way maybe mirrors what it would be like to have a newborn. And it just feels so special to get to watch her grow up because she is growing so fast. And we have been touching her paws every day so that when we need to do her nail trimmings and stuff, she's gonna be okay. Next up on today's agenda, I'm gonna show Lily where her litter is because we moved it downstairs. Okay, Lily, do you see? Litter box is here. Let's go pee pee and poo poo, okay? Hi, Lily. Sit. Good girl. For some reason, she loves being wrapped like a newborn baby, so that's how we've been kind of acclimating her to Kevin. And she loves being held, but she's a little scared of the act of being picked up by somebody she doesn't know super well. Kevin hasn't been home very often, so it's been a little harder for the two of them to bond, but she's doing a lot better. Hi, Lily Bear. Cats in general spook pretty easily, and they also just take a long time to get used to people, new environments, new places. And again, we are new cat owners, and so we are learning a lot. You know, some of the things we've learned so far are, for example, we basically are not allowed to have flowers in the house anymore because they can almost all be toxic to animals. We've been slowly trying to cat-proof our home and finding things that she is interested in that we would never even think that she would be interested in. Now that I told you her story, I thought I'd answer some of the probably more frequently asked questions that you guys might have. So how old is she? It is currently Christmas Day, and I think she is somewhere around 12 to 14 weeks old, which means that she's still a kitten. She's only gotten her first round of shots, so she still needs to do all of that. She also needs to get spayed. What kind of kitty is she? On her chart, it says that she is a domestic short hair, which I'm assuming is just like a common cat. I'm sure you guys know a lot more about it. Feel free to leave me a comment and educate me because I, again, am learning so much information. Are the cat and the dog getting along? They are getting along incredibly. Honestly, they get along better with each other sometimes than we get along with Lily, because I feel like sometimes we spook her because we're a little bit taller, we're bigger, we're louder. I think she really sees Lucky as a comrade, which is great. More importantly than anything, I want them to be able to get along. He is older, so he is more mellowed out and he's not like a puppy and like chasing her. I'm so shocked at how quickly she's able to figure things out, and she loves playing, she loves toys. I'll leave some of the things that we found to be really useful for her in the description box below, just in case you also have a cat or if you are thinking of getting one. Some of these things have been really so helpful. She is very playful, so we spent a lot of the day playing with her. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will have more Lily updates for you guys soon, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and she'll answer them.